up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, my name is Chungu and I'm a Zambian YouTuber based in China, and I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what the reality of being a medical student in China is and debunking some popular theories or notions about what studying medicine in China is supposedly like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to share it with anyone that you can. Let's get into the video. So initially, like before I applied to come here, I really didn't want to come here because you hear this, like especially like back home in Zambia. I don't know about other places, but I know back home it's said a lot. Like you hear a lot of people constantly saying, like people who go to study medicine in China, people who failed in high school and stuff like that. Like China doesn't properly train their medical students, and doctors that come from China are underqualified and stuff like that. And I didn't want to go to a place where I would supposedly come out half baked, or where, like, you know, no one wants to go somewhere that has a terrible reputation, right? So I had to do like a lot of research. I was going on Google, I was trying to find videos on YouTube that would like give me more information on the place that I was about to go to. But I couldn't find much videos on YouTube, which is probably like another reason why I wanted to do this video, because I really needed to hear the stuff that I'm about to talk about. So I really hope that this video is going to be helpful to someone. So like the same notion of people who come to study medicine in China are people who failed in high school, or China doesn't train, like China trains underqualified doctors. First of all, most Chinese medical universities are actually really hard to get to. I'll give an example of when I was doing my application. So for my intake, right, our food and nutrition results were lost for my school. I don't know if it was the whole province or something like that, but our results were lost. So on the exam transcript, on my results, it was written missing, right? So when I applied, I sent my documents and all that stuff, and I got ones in all the other subjects, but the school focused on that one subject which was missing and said I had to, like, those results had to be found. Basically, I had to start writing emails to the Examination Council of Zambia. I used to be going to those offices like back to back, just trying to, so that I could get my updated transcript of results, and then I could proceed with the application process, right? So for other, like there are other schools I've heard where you have to write like entry examinations, and if you fail then you don't make the cut. So medical schools here are actually hard to get to. Yes, there are some other schools, like schools that just start enrolling international students. The school itself, right, is not open to getting anyone, but the agents that they get to work for them, like to get students, are the ones that are more open to literally anyone, right? But that doesn't mean that everyone who comes here has got horrible results. I actually, in all my years here, I've never met anyone who studied medicine who failed in high school, but I've met a lot of extraordinary people who had amazing results in high school. So it's like, I would really like to know like what started, like even the thing of China trains underqualified doctors. I'd like to know like where that came from. Like, is there something to support that notion? Like, was there an incident that happened where doctors trained in China were like doing subpar work, like they neglected their patients? Like, I would really like to know exactly what had happened for these notions to start coming up. So I won't lie, obviously there are people who are able to pay for their children's way into school, but there's a few people that are able to do that, and that shouldn't speak on all the doctors that come from China. For most people, when they're talking about this thing, it's like something to joke about. It's like something to, like kiki about. But, it creates a certain form of prejudice for those of us who study medicine here. Because it's like, we come, like, for most people who come home to do their internship, right? Once it's known that you studied medicine in China, you're treated with a certain form of prejudice. The doctors are harder on you, like the doctors in charge are harder on you. And in some cases, very few cases though, not a lot, but like in some cases, I've been told or I've heard of cases where it's like they're basically trying to show you up and set you up to fail, put you in a situation where you have to sweat it out basically, and make you stutter just to try to prove that people who come to study medicine in China are not properly qualified. And so it doesn't create a very healthy environment for us. It doesn't even create something to look forward to when coming back home. So yeah, just to debunk all that, it's not a plausible theory or a plausible notion, because it has no proper good evidence to back it up. And in my experience, I definitely will tell you that it's not true. And then I wrote my points in a book, so I'll be looking down every now and then. When I was coming here, I did not know that it was compulsory to study Chinese language. Like, I was not expecting that. I knew there were people who come to study medicine here in Chinese, so I thought for them it's obviously compulsory to study in Chinese. I didn't think it would be compulsory for me, because why? That's not what I'm coming for, And then I came here and it's compulsory, and they actually take it very, very seriously. So if you are planning to come to study in China, that's another thing you have to know. Chinese is very compulsory. I thought coming here it would be possible to find at least maybe say half of the population can speak English, but in the actual sense, majority of them cannot speak English, and you need to learn the Chinese even just to know your way around. So be prepared for that. And then the other point is the language barrier. So my first year here, I remember in all my classes for first semester, I could not understand a thing, because their accents were so... It was really hard to try to get what they're saying. It used to feel like their words are rolling over their tongues. Like I couldn't get anything they were saying. But after a couple months or so, please ignore the background noises. But yeah, after a couple months or so, I got used to the accents, and I was more capable of hearing what they were saying. So if you're planning to come here, also prepare yourself for that. You have to get to a point of getting used basically to how they talk. Not all of their English is very fluent, so you have to train your ears to be able to understand what they're saying. And that also is kind of affects us in class, in the sense that these people are really amazing teachers, they're really good at what they do. But then because of the language barrier, they're not always able to get their point across, right? So you have to know, in class, you have to be very attentive. You have to know what questions to ask to get the answers that you need to hear to understand exactly what's going on. So yeah. And then the other point, there was a point when there was some debate going on Twitter talking about school for people who are abroad is easier than for people who are back home. And it didn't make sense to me, because it's are we learning different things? Are we learning different subjects? Because if we stop to check, we're all learning the same subjects. We can be learning them at different intervals. Maybe I learn a certain subject in second year and you learn it in fourth year, but we're still learning the same subjects. So where does the notion that it's easier here come from? I will say that the weight, the workload is less here, in the sense that every semester they make sure that we're only doing 5 courses, and amongst those 5 courses, maybe one is a non-core course, so the other 4 are the ones that are bulky and that require your full energy, and then the other one is so in that sense, I understand because I was talking to a friend who's studying back home, and she told me most of the times, like in a semester, I can't remember if that was Mulungushi or Unza, one of the two, but in a semester you can have like 8 or 9 courses, which I understand that's like a lot of work that you have to get done in one semester, right? That makes sense. Like if you say our workloads are different, I get it, I understand. But to say that it's easier here is, it's a bit I feel like it takes you back to the same point of doctors who are trained here are undertrained compared to those who are trained elsewhere. I feel like the spacing of courses actually gives us the ability to be able to concentrate more, to be able to do more research in the time frame given. And I should probably also explain, in classes when these guys are teaching, they don't teach like the whole, their syllabus is like a summary of what's in the textbook. So if your medical life here is solely based on what you learn in class, for sure you're going to be half-baked. You have to do a lot of research on your own. You have to do a lot of watching videos online. Like you have to do a lot of the work on your own in order for you to get like well-rounded. So that's another thing that people need to keep in mind when they are coming up with these theories, so to say. Class life. I will say it was not what I was expecting. I really was hoping that my university experience would involve more assignments and more like hands-on work, you know, rather than like just the going to class and listening to what the lecturer has to say and then, you know, the day goes on like that. Like I was hoping it would be more of you do this research on something and you do presentations on something. That happens in some classes, but not in all of them. There are other classes where you basically just go to listen to what the person is saying. So on that part, I'm really not a fan of that. I wish we had more like I wish the classes were more engaging, but for the most part, you should like Chinese people, like their culture, respect is very important, right? So you know how in high school or in primary school or anything like that, you can't go outside without asking for permission. You can't come late. Like all those class rules that we used to have, they apply here in university as well. Like you can get kicked out of class for talking. You can get kicked out of class for coming late, like stuff like that, because they're very big on respect and they feel like you coming late is being disrespectful. You talking in class is being disrespectful, which it is. So for class life, that's what you should expect. And then for campus life, I was expecting it would be like, you know how you see it like in series or in movies, like on Friday there's a party or something like that, like something engaging where like the students are like coming together and hanging out. That does not happen at all unless the like student union comes forward and decides to like organize something, but otherwise the school itself rarely will come and say like, oh, we're thinking of organizing this for you. Like it's up to the student union to come up with ideas of like, we should do this or we should do that or something like that. So in terms of campus life activities, don't keep your hopes up if you're planning to come to study here. And then in terms of school life balance, I feel like here it's much easier to be able to find a balance because like for me, the city where I'm studying in other cities, it's normal for them to have classes like throughout, even on the weekend. For us here, we only have classes on the weekend if say the next week is going to be a holiday, so they want to catch up on the classes that you're going to miss, so they make you have classes on the weekend, and even after that week you have classes on that weekend too, to catch up on what you should have done during that holiday week. So you have a lot of extra time as long as you're not a foolish person who who does more of one than the other. You just need to be disciplined enough to know that this is time for school and okay, this is time for me to now just like have time for myself. But otherwise, finding the balance of life and school, it's way easier here for sure. So yeah, those are the main points I thought I could like share in terms of what being a medical student here is like. So I hope that was eye-opening and helpful for someone who's looking to come to study here and was looking for some information on what it's like or on what to expect. If you have any other questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I am very open to help you out. And yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to share it with anyone that you can. And if you have not, please don't forget to subscribe. So I know I said this week I was going to be giving the giveaway announcement and showing the giveaway stuff, but I ordered them online and most of them haven't yet come. So I'm going to drop another video this week, probably on Friday, if everything is here by Friday. If not, then Saturday, with the giveaway instructions and showing the gifts. So yeah, I apologize for taking so long with that, but please be patient with me. I will drop the video this week, I promise. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.